Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a design team project that I'm going to be sharing. You guys know I'm on Erica's team and I've been playing around with the Tulip album. I last week shared the little box that I had created, and I also knew I wanted to make an album. I just wasn't sure what pictures I was going to use, but I did want to make it out of the Tulip because the idea of the accordion style was burning a hole in my head, and figuring it out was not easy because it wasn't working for me, but I ended up making it and covered it with a bunch of paper to kind of cover the places I didn't like that I didn't think worked. Anyways, I just ended up using these two dies. Literally, that's all I used. As you can see here, looks like it's one of those embroidered that the machine uses where it goes back and forth. So what I did was I cut out a thick piece of white cardstock using the shaker die piece from the set. And then I sat and glued this. I didn't use hot glue. I used my little liquid glue and I just wound it all the way around. I took the embroidery floss. I didn't unravel it completely. I just did little pieces or little strings at a time and just went around all the way around until I covered it. It did take a while. I don't even know. I didn't pay attention what time I started. I should have timed it because it was a bit time consuming. And then from there, I took the tulip shaped one that has the leaves, and I ended up cutting out pink cardstock to create the base of this accordion little book. I did pictures of my little family. This is my kid. They're 13 and 8, but he's going to be 14 next week. Ugh. Time goes by fast, but I have lots of little pictures that I tend to pull out because I want to have ready in case I want to make a little album, because ideas just kind of pop into my head randomly. And I thought this would be a cute way to display them for the spring. And I just I love this paper collection. I love the colors of it. Like, I don't know, usually I'm kind of picky about the papers that I get. I do buy a lot of paper, but I'm picky about it as well. It has to be certain colors. And then it opens up the backside to these two, which is so cute. And the ephemera pieces, I didn't get all of them. I think I only got I got the sticker book, which I barely touched. Let me see. I did get a lot of the embellishment ephemera pieces. I did that one in the flower one, and then I did the puffy stickers. So that's what I used basically on this. I didn't add anything extra because I also didn't want to make it too chunky. So I'm going to come back at the end of this video and show you guys how I made this. I feel like it didn't turn out as good because having to do the accordion pieces here left a little gap. And so when this opens up, it does kind of get stuck there, but it's for me and I'm not giving this to anyone. So I'm living with that and be fine with it. And the back side, I haven't decided if I want to add another picture or just add one of the papers back here. Like, I'm still stuck on that. But the cover, let's talk about that. I took this piece here, and what I did was, it's thick. I did 3 layers of cardstock. I did the green, and then I did a white in between, and then another green. And then on top of that, I took this piece here. There's I want to say there's also the pink one that is behind here for the accordion. So there's that layer, and then there's the paper layer. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 layers of this. So it's really like sturdy, and I feel like it's not going to just fall apart or bend easily. So I like that. But the cover here, I love this paper because some of the prints are like rainbow pattern, and I just like, where is that one? There's another one here. There's this one that I want to create something with this. I just can't decide. I want to cut this out and make this like the cover of a book, but I'm not sure. But there's this page that I absolutely love, and I got this in 12 by 12. And then where's the other one at? This one. This is the other one that I think you could also add a lot of embroidery to that one. And then the other one that I'm messing with is this purple plaid one. They don't have a lot of purples in papers, I've noticed, and I don't even know what I did with that one. Sorry, oh, here it is. So I'm working on this cover card. I'll show you guys. I made this huge sequence one using Happy Crafter, the rhombus shakers, or sequence, I should say. And I love the way it looks with this purple in the background. And then I decided to use this cute little stamp from the greeting farm that I just picked off of a D-stash. I think it's like Flutter Anya. And this one is part of the ephemera kit there. And I thought, oh, I'm going to make a cute little card or somehow. But that's what I'm working on next. Anywho, back to this guy here. So I decided to take all the embroidery thread that I had, and by the sheer grace of God, I had just about every color. I hoard things and I don't use them. So I'm lucky that I hoarded enough colors because I did not want to have to be running to the store to go get some more just to fill this up. And I wanted to keep it very basic in the cover because I really wanted this to be seen and not covered. I did a lot of work. It took me a long time. I'm not into threading because I don't have the patience into doing the whole embroidery thing, or even the cross stitch and all that. Like, I don't have the patience for that for some reason. I can do everything else or a lot of other things, but for some reason I lose my mind when I have to do this. And it took me a couple hours. I had to take a break because my back and my fingers were hurting. So I kept coming back to it over the course of the last couple of days. Yeah. Anyways, and then I added the little leaves too. And I was going to leave them plain, but then I thought, no, it's not going to look good if I have just this part done and not add anything down here. I don't know if I'm going to add something here, maybe a ribbon, bow or something, but I do love the way it turned out. And I did some embroidery there. I did some embroidery here. I added the puffy stickers. A lot of the stickers are really like thick on the sticker book. So I like that. This one, I ended up using a pen to like do fake stitching, but I did add a little bit of embroidery to the butterflies there. And then I just pulled a bunch of flowers on this picture. And I added a little thing back there. And then I was like, oh, I'm kind of mad because I put stuff there. And so I put stuff there. I should have done opposite just for a little balance. But oh, well. And then back over here, I used a lot of the ephemera flowers that come in one of the packs. And just, I cut them up and put one here and put one on the other side. I was going to do circle photos on this side. But when I went to print my images, I used my little selfie printer. And I didn't remember to do the photos large enough so that I could put the circle die around the picture to cut it out. So I ended up having to just layer over, which, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I kind of wanted them circle. And it's just so, I don't know, I just love this paper. It's so cute. So that's my album, and stay tuned for the tutorial coming up. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is creating the accordion album, and for this you'll need the die set that has the stitching. And I used my scoreboard. I have the Martha Stewart one that's like 12 by 12, and I did not measure, guys. I was just kind of winging it, and I think that's probably why it didn't turn out as good as I could figure out. So what I did was I took the scoreboard and then I eyeballed kind of where I want the fold so that it opens up. I'll have the fold there. So I took just 11 by 8, and I used I used a pink cardstock because I wanted that to be the background. But for this instructional tutorial, I'm just going to use an 8.5 by 11. And all I do is I'm going to eyeball it here, and I'm going to say, oh, because if I do this, it's going to cut there, and I want it to be here. So I think for this one, I ended up doing this right here, just doing the little notch there. And then I just scored it all the way down. And the other thing you can do too, because that's what I did with the 12 by 12, is I lined up my die here, and then I cut right underneath about here like this all the way across. So I'll do that now just to kind of give you guys an idea. Ooh, let me eyeball that again. Let me see. We're gonna go about here ish or so. See, I do the nail thing. I don't know if you guys do that too. Because the whole idea is just the tulip flower portion is going to be your album, not the stem. So let's see, did I get it right? Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So now that I have that fold there, I'm going to just fold it like this. And then I cut the piece off there just so that I can, what do I do with my scissors? So I can see when I do the die cutting, I'm going to run it through my die cut. So for this one, I am going to have the fold be on this side because I'm going to first open the album, you know, over to the left like this. So the fold is there. So that's where I want my accordion to be at, right there. And you see I have the space there. I'm going to go and cut that piece off. But I'm going to make sure that I line this up pretty straight with the album. And when you flip it over, you can see it's going to leave that little edging there. So I'm going to take some washi tape to hold this down. I have some used one. Okay. So now that I have run it through my die cut machine, and this paper is kind of thin, so it doesn't feel real rough. You can see that it comes apart easily. Now you have your first page, and so the next part is to do it from this side so that it opens up this way, and then it opens up like that, right? So I have this here, so we're gonna set this aside, and then we're gonna get another piece of paper to do the other side. Okay, so I have my next sheet, and I'm gonna do the same thing for this one, but I'm gonna show you what I flipped and reversed it on this one. So I know that I'm going to let me see if I remember correctly which one it was. Yeah, the 3 and what is that? 3/8 or 16ths? No, because that's a 4th. Yeah, so right here. So I'm gonna fold it. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna fold it down. I'm gonna cut it. Only this time, since I have it like this time I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to do it this side, okay? Which is kind of tricky, and this is where I ran into some issues because I had trouble lining it up. So the only advice I can do is say take this and measure it there, right? And then bring your die and line it up right there. So you kind of have an idea of where you're going to line it up right there. And I'm hoping that that'll help enough, because this is where I struggled, that I couldn't figure out to get it right on line with what I was doing with the other side, because this is going to open up that way, right? So this is the only advice I can give, is to save your little scrap and line it up and see if it lines up with when you cut it, and hopefully it does. Just got to move it over a little bit. I mean, it's not gonna be, this is why, like, I'm not doing anything crazy with mine. I just made it my own album. But if you want to make your own, you know, then you will be, I think you'll be okay with the little, you know, pieces that aren't perfect. What did I do with the other one? I don't even know what I did with the other washi. Okay. Okay, so here's, I've cut it up, and I don't know that I did it perfectly compared to the other one, but so it's gonna go like this now. Okay, so your first one will be like this. So you're going to line it up like that, and you have this edge here. I trimmed this piece off, and then you have this piece over here, which is kind of hard, as you can see, like that, right? But what I ended up doing, no, I left this as is because it just opens up like this. It's going to open up like that, like this, okay? So I did leave that as is, my bad. Or no, did I trim it? Oh, I did trim it. So I did. My gosh, I can't even remember what I did. This is why I don't do tutorials, you guys, because I can't get it right. So you open it up and it's folded there initially. Okay. And then the next one is going to be your folded piece here, which is there like that. Okay. No. Oh my gosh. See, I'm doing it wrong already. Okay, so this is where it's at. Like this. So you're gluing these two together. That makes sense. Okay. So there we have this open and the back side. And then we do one more where we'll glue the piece here to have that. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay, and for the sake of time, I already cut out another one. Same way as I did the first one, basically. You need two of these and then one going the opposite way, okay? So let me move this out of the way here. Welcome to my messy, dirty table where I just move stuff around. Okay, so let me toss this because it's going to bug the crap out of me. Okay, so like I said, you're going to need two folded left to right and one folded right to left like this, okay? So you're going to take the first one and that's going to be your opening page. So you're going to need your first one, and actually let's trim it down now before I do anything else. And this is to make the accordion part. It's not decorating yet. Okay, so the first one you'll need left, and then you'll need the next one this way. So you'll line it up like this so it's folds out. Okay, so you're gonna take your glue and you're just gonna, sorry, I tend to do stuff out of frame because I don't pay attention while I'm videotaping. Okay, gonna do it real fast. Nothing perfect. I didn't trim this one because I'm gonna do that next. So you're going to line it up right about there. There you go. Okay, so now you have your first flap open and now you trim. Okay, then you're going to create the next one, and this you can, I'm gonna trim just because that's what I did for mine, so it'll open up nicely and won't mess with the other one. So now you have that piece. You can also trim this. Okay, then your next piece is like this, okay, because you want it to fold like this and open like that. And I did trim this here, my bad, hold on, just because, there we go. Okay, so you have that opening there. Now you're gonna do this one. Now you're gonna take again the left to right and you're going to just do it there, and then you're gonna trim this piece off after you glue. You can do it beforehand if you want. I think I'm gonna wait till I glue it down just so that I can see where I need to. Okay, so add your glue there. And then you're going to line it up nicely there, like that. Okay, so there's your accordion book. Now mine didn't turn out perfect. It's got some little bits, but I covered it with paper so you can't really see a lot of the little mistakes. Like for example, on this page, it's actually just half of a pink because I ran out of the pink cardstock of the color that I was using, which you can't even see. So I should have just used white because I have a lot of white. But now you have, you know, your accordion is here, and see how it opens up like this. Now you can, what you're gonna do next is take your, so I have this one here. Let me show you. You're gonna take your printed paper and you're going to use the same die. And what I like to do, let me see if I can have one that I don't really care about to show you guys. This one's not my favorite. So I take the paper and I just barely line it up like that. Okay, so we have the piece cut out. Now what you're gonna do is when you line it up here to start covering the cardstock, you're just going to line it up like this, okay? It lines up nicely front and back. The only thing that does not line up are your stems. Your stems do not line up front or back. It has to be all facing the same, as you can see, because if you flip this around to say like have it face this way, this leaf, larger one, will end up on this side and the little one on that side. And so I didn't like that. Only mine's a little off. It's okay. It's just for me. So, but you're going to take it and glue it down. And then when you fold it, you're going to see that you have a little bit of lining there. I just took my paper and just kind of eyeballed it and did it that way. So I just made sure that I'm lined up pretty good and that I see where my crease is at and just kind of fold, and then I can see there. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to do like a snip there and then just a little snip there, and then I line it up again before I glue to make sure that I didn't cut too much. Like I cut too much there, but I didn't cut enough here. So I'm just going to go back and just, you know, trim it some more. And there you go. Now you could also, to kind of cover this up, you could add a little distress ink there if you're doing that style. If not, you could just leave it. It's white. It's up to you how neat you want to be with it. I'm not super crazy because I know that my skills are just whatever. I'm just doing this for me. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with it, but it's going to be in my home. I'm not going to well, I displayed it online, but I swear. But I'm content with this. And then you're going to do the same for all of them, right? So you'll do all the little cutting there on the edging. I got pretty close. On this one, I kind of messed up. So I cut this die cut piece and covered it so it wouldn't be so bad. But same thing over here. You just kind of snip a little. Like this one has way more than this side. So it's just eyeballing it, really. And there you have it. Now for the cover, what you are going to do to make it thick and sturdy is you will need layers. I did 3 layers. I did a thick, what was it? Basil? Is it basil? Yeah, I did the basil from Joann's. I did 2, one on top and one on the bottom. And the inside, I used this thinner 65-pound weight from Michael's. And I put that inside. Then you layer your cover piece that you want. Now you don't have to add this if you don't want to, but for this I did use the leftover because I did, where is it? Remember I showed you the sequence? I had a lot, that idea hit me that I wanted to do like an embroidery look. So I did that style and I used this piece for it. So all it is literally winding the embroidery thread all the way around. And it is time consuming, I will say that. So just be aware of that. But that's all you do just to make your cover, the front and back, is layer those pieces and glue them down and you're done. And that's your book. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. You know to head over to ScrapDivaDesigns.com for any of these dies. I will link up where I got my stuff from. I want to say I found the paper pad on either scrapbook.com or cheap scrapbook stuff. But hashtag ScrapDiva Designs for lots of ideas and inspirations with these dies if you guys want to create some fun stuff. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope this helps and you guys try it out too. If not, thank you for watching, and I will be back soon. Bye.